Hello again, everybody, and welcome to update number 2 of the July 2015 Virtual Gunsmoke competition in DCS World. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes to show 3 submissions and pass on a little bit of information on how the competition is going. Now, I'll start with a recommendation and some advice for people who may still be uncomfortable with the way that the track system works and submitting a track for me to then score. There were a couple of messages that indicated that playbacks of tracks on the competitor system wasn't working at all, and if that's the case for you, then feel free to submit a TACVIEW ACMI file. It's the text file that TACVIEW generates when you fly a mission. If you would like to submit that with your track, I'll use your TACVIEW ACMI file to do the scoring. It's free. It'll ask you if you want to pay for it, but you don't have to. You can use it for free. You get some upgraded features that you might want if you do pay for the license version, but that can give you another option if you are still uncomfortable with the track system. And the tests that I've made on my system and comparisons of the tracks versus the replays on the submissions that have submitted both have still shown maybe a 1 to 2 foot error in the replay that averages out to about a foot, which is actually about as accurate as I can measure anyway. So totally up to you. Feel free to submit the TACVIEW file if you would like. That would actually help me out a lot and make things a little bit more streamlined for me. So let's go ahead and get into the 3 submissions for this week. We're up to a total of 10, so please don't feel bad if I'm not including yours. These are just kind of 3 more or less at random. They might have had something that stood out, I don't know. But I'll start in the A10C. It's a submission by Derby Ziegler. And I guess what stood out in this one more than anything else to me was that this is the first person I've seen in my life actually use the UFC, and my goodness, the use of systems by Derby was just great in this. And when I'm showing the examples at the very end of things that work, this is one of the submissions that I'll focus on. It was just a very, very efficient use of systems. There's no other way to describe it. He did more in like the first 30 seconds than I could have done in 5 minutes. So, and I say he, I assume, I've got about a 98% chance that I'm talking about males here if I look at the YouTube analytics for who actually watches, and forgive me if I do mess up the gender. Now, the second submission that I'm showing here is by B-Man. This is actually the first shack in the A10 so far, and I believe it was on release 2 or 3. Very well done by B-Man. 3 good solid passes as well. And then finally, in the Sukhoi 25T, we have a submission by the Colonel. And if I were awarding style points for any of these submissions, this would be one where that would be the case. He makes his first pass on the target, accelerates, pulls into the vertical, completes the loop, and goes straight into the second pass. I thought he was going to do like a complete Cuban 8 here as the second pass unfolded, but it wasn't to be. He did pull around and go straight into the third pass off of this. Made 3 excellent passes, by the way, and did it with style. It was a lot of fun to watch. So again, well done, and well done to everybody who has competed so far. There've been some really fun attack runs to watch, and everybody's doing great so far. So folks, I'm going to wrap this one up here, and as a reminder, the link to the competition rules are in the video description below. You still have another 20 days to get this in. It's the 11th of July now. The competition for July ends on the 31st. And as a reminder to all the virtual squadrons out there, there is a team competition. So if you are a member, or if you're just part of a group of buddies that gets together and flies every now and then, feel free to put your organization's name in the hat. I just need 3 submissions from each squadron or organization or group or whatever you want to call yourselves. Give me a minimum of 3 submissions. I'll average those together. That'll be your team score. And even if you don't win the individual honors this time around, you can still get some bragging rights for your squadron. So I look forward to seeing some submissions for that as well. Now I'll wrap it up here, and thanks again. I will see you next time.